there's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. The Bod Father.
Man, this stuff rocks.
What's up, guys? This is Leon from Love the Hate, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. And I like to say thank you for tuning in, and especially the ones who are going to listen to the replay of this. I thank you all a lot. Trust me. I want to welcome bassist Leon Craft from Love the Hate. They are from Mobile, Alabama. Based heavy rockers. Love the Hate has released their new single entitled Solid Ground, which with a dark modern music video directed and filmed by Thomas Crane of KillDevil Films, who's worked with Saliva, Talatori, of course, of Queen's Rock, and Eve to Adam. And we got Leon on here to talk about all this good stuff. So Leon, welcome to the show, and how you doing, my man?
What's up, John? Thanks for having me. And once again, the Bod Father, still one of the best names ever.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my son. Thank you. As always, I'm the good Bod Father, the good one. Well, unless you like try to take my lasagna or something other than.
Well, you never take the Bod Father's food. Don't do it. That's a no.
No. So, how you been doing, man? And how excited are you to finally get back on the road and play some shows, possibly, since everything's opened up just a little bit now?
It's fantastic to be able to get in front of actual humans again, instead of doing like online live stream shows, and getting that face-to-face, eye-to-eye connection with the fans and potentially new fans, and hanging out by the merch tables and getting to meet people again. And I love those connections, because a lot of those interactions at that merch table turn into genuine friendships that talk to me every other day. And those are one of the things that's like the best part of playing shows is, yeah, it's fun and an adrenaline rush to be up on stage rocking, but those interactions with the fans after the fact are one of the things I think we most look forward to at shows.
To me, I think that's the coolest thing ever, is when you have that connection with a fan and you build a relationship like that, because, hey man, they could be at your merch booth helping you, or they could be your ears for say, hey, this is off our new album. We haven't leaked this out yet or anything. What's your take on it? Just get a fan's perspective of it.
Oh yeah. And we've definitely actually have done that before. And it's great fun. Like yesterday, one of those very same interactions was a girl we met at a show and has become a huge fan. And we were talking to her yesterday because she just randomly hit me up and was like, hey, our local radio station picked up Solid Ground, and we were talking about it. And it's just like, if, that's a human connection that we wouldn't have had if we don't always make it a point after every set to go to the merch table and interact with people.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And man, I've said this for years. That's what exactly a fan's going to remember. They'll be like, hey, look, they talk to me. I'm going to go see them every time because they're friendly. They're not going to be assholes or anything like that. They know where they came from.
Yeah. I mean, we're just people. Like, yeah. You could, put the rock star mystique on us or deify us or anything like that. But like, we're just regular guys. Like we're just regular guys that happen to get lucky to be on that stage. Yeah. Other than the fact I'm on that stage and you're not, there's not a damn thing that's different between you and me.
Exactly.
Not a damn thing. Like, we're all just people. We're human beings.
You're just more talented than what you are doing than others. That's all.
And I wouldn't even say that. There are plenty of people walking around that make me look like a complete joke. I happen to be in the right place at the right time.
They should see me on a ukulele. I could burn that sucker up.
playing on ukuleles, man. Those things are so fun.
They're cool looking. I haven't seen a dime bag ukulele, and I was like, whoa.
Tell you what, I'm gonna call it next Love the Hate record, ukulele.
And I'm on it, folks. There you go. He doesn't say it. Can't take it back.
And can I please take it back? I'm sorry.
I had to talk to my producer about
I'll
that.
work on a solo record, and the whole thing is just nothing but ukulele.
I'll go with that.
All right, we'll go with that.
So I thought this is really cool, man, for just being a local band on what you guys have done across some billboards, because what's your reaction to see Love the Hate at number 34 on the Billboard Rock Indicator charts? And plus, that jumped 6 spots from 40. But you also jumped to number 28 on the Foundations charts, man. I mean, you was talking about like being close to Offspring. I mean, that's huge.
I actually, first off, it's extremely surreal and humbling to see our name next to and amongst bands that we grew up being fans of or are fans of currently and have had the pleasure of sharing the stage with some of them. But actually, I have an update. I have a 50% update because we haven't gotten the Billboard report yet. But we are now currently, as of now, I literally got the email an hour ago, number 21 on the Foundation charts. So we jumped up 7 spots on Foundation. So I'm very much looking forward to the Billboard report today to see where we may have landed.
That's amazing, man. See, folks, it just takes hard dedication. I mean, I'm not saying that they're the best band out there. I'm not saying it all whatsoever, but everybody has that opportunity. You just have to fucking go get it. It's just like Slays on Dope in one of the songs I like, Bob. They just went and got theirs. That's all it is. That's all.
We jumped Fozzy too. And, Chris Jericho, if you want to do a match, because we seem to be headed, us and Fozzy have been going at it this whole radio cycle. Hey Chris, hit me up. Let's do a match, man. Let's go.
Hey, let's not bring Pain. His character Pain. I don't want to see that. That's kind of scary. I don't think so.
No, honestly, I love Fozzy. I love Chris Jericho. I grew up watching wrestling with my father, that would be hilarious. Like my little 5'7" ass trying to get into the ring with Chris Jericho.
So did you find yourself, Leon, doing anything differently other than working on music during the pandemic? Did you try to watch any TV or catch up on any of gaming or anything like that? Maybe.
Man, I'm a very introverted person. I am a bit misanthropic at times. That's a flaw I should kind of work on. But during the whole lockdown, nothing really changed for me, because when I'm not with Love the Hate, or if I wasn't working, which I work from home now, but all I would do is just sit at home and play video games or write music or watch YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. Mm. So nothing really changed for me all that much, other than I was on an extended vacation from work and dealing with other humans. But sorry to say, I haven't even watched any of the Disney Plus stuff going on. I've never seen an episode of The Mandalorian. I've never seen WandaVision, Captain America Winter Soldier, Loki that just wrapped up. I haven't gotten to any of it just because I don't know why. And I have a Disney Plus subscription. That money's just going down the drain at this point.
You're not the only person. I've not dug into that stuff. I'm not a big, as far as like online streaming stuff like that, those platforms, I just don't dig it. I mean, that's just me.
Well, it's not for lack of wanting to. I would love to be able to just sit down and just binge all of it. It's just finding the time.
Sure. How many songs do you have written or working on at this time? And you said we're going to get an EP on this as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the plan. The plan is to hopefully release an EP first quarter of 2022. As far as music we're working on, like, we're constantly throwing riffs left, right, and center at each other and trying to build songs around them. Music has been written and has been being worked on for 8 to 10 different possible songs right now. Actually, tomorrow we're going back into the studio to start pre-production for the next single. So you'll be hearing new music from Love to Hate before the year is over. But hopefully, first quarter of 2022, we'll have an EP out.
And here's another thing, folks. They sat on solid ground for like how long? Over a year?
So yeah, almost. We recorded Solid Ground in October of 2020, towards the end of October.
Wow.
And that's when everything was still relatively completely shut down and locked down. So it was kind of a strategy to sit on it, even though we really hated sitting on it, because we could have released it in like January, but then we wouldn't have been able to tour or hit the road or do anything with it.
Mm.
And now, since we released it almost a month ago, it's, we've been getting show opportunities here and there, and we're able to go and plan touring packages and do stuff now. So it was kind of a necessary evil to sit on it for as long as we did.
So ode to you guys, and I'm sure you had to be itching to get that out and be done with, because I mean, that has to be itching at you so bad. Like, man, we got to get this out. I'm not sick of it. It's just that, why is it sitting here if we can't do nothing with it?
Right.
It
was very frustrating, but at the end of the day, considering the results, I think it was the right choice.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I know a lot of bands who just put a lot of stuff out, and I'm really curious to see on how much of this stuff that they have written, that's going to come out later, possibly, or even if it comes out later, because I've heard some tell me, Leon, that they've got enough stuff. And I was shocked when they told me they've got at least 2 to 3 albums already. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
a lot of people had a lot of time on their hands. Cause I mean, you look at, Trivium released What the Dead Man Say, and they weren't able to tour on it. And it's a fantastic record and it's done well numbers wise, but they weren't able to tour on that. Imagine how that could have felt. And then they've already, only a little over a year later, have turned around and they've already released a new single, which tells me that a new record is already on the way, like a year and a couple months later. So I wonder how much of that was written in quarantine after they released What the Dead Man Say. But yeah, it's just wild how much, like, we have music for a full length record, but we're going with the EP route just because we're unestablished as of yet. Not as many people know our name. We're not a Trivium or a Metallica. Like, we're not a household name yet. So we're going the EP route of releasing an EP here, then releasing an EP there before we do a full length of completely new material. Because unfortunately nowadays, the average music consumer has the attention span of a gerbil. And to keep that attention span and keep the eyes on us. And I don't necessarily agree with this strategy just because I'm a little bit old school. I like full length records. I like physical records. I like having something I can hold in my hand. But this is unfortunately the nature of the beast of the music industry today. So that's why we're going the EP here, EP there, then a full length route.
Any tracks that you could talk about right now, possibly any riffs or anything that are standing out more to you than any right now, possibly, that you want to keep in, that you don't want to throw away?
There's a lot that we're planning on keeping in, because we never write a song with the intention of it being a B-side. Like, we like everything we write. A lot of times what's going to make the cut of this EP or that EP or the record it'll come down to like management's decision, because it's kind of like trying to ask us to choose between our favorite child. It's almost impossible. But there's one song that we're working on that I wrote when I was 17 in a thrash metal band. There's another song that we're working on that I would compare, if I had to compare it to a sound, of like Chevelle and Deftones. There's another one that's just pure slam, hit you in the face the whole time, rock and roll. There's another one we're working on that's very melodic and depressing and a little bit progressive. So, we're kind of all over the place because we all have such wide range of different musical influences that we can make songs that sound like different things that still sound like us.
Yeah. So do you guys like having that flavor of music? And I like that word, flavor of music, on your albums, especially that has those peaks and valleys that just, you don't know what you're going to get around the next curve.
Absolutely. Like, I'm from Alabama, so life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh.
God, that hurt to do that. My mother is an English professor. She probably wants to kill me right now.
No,
I love the fact that I love the fact that not every song sounds exactly the same. I love that everybody's musical influences has a chance to come to the fore. And it also doesn't keep us in a box. We're not necessarily limiting ourselves. For certain songs that we've pegged for, this is going to be a radio song, we write those songs with that in mind. But everything else is this one, this is for daddy. This is where we get to show our musicality, and we still are able to do that with the radio songs. But radio, again, a necessary evil, usually has a certain formula. Vocals have to start here. It can only last this long if you want to do a radio push with it. But just because we have a radio single coming up doesn't mean that we can't record a 10-minute song for that same EP. It's just not meant for radio.
Right. I've heard Metallica's songs on radio before, and I'm going, oh, they chopped that up bad.
Yeah. I mean, Metallica, like Atlas Rise, I think was one of their latest singles on the Hardwire circuit, and it's an over 6-minute song, but it's only like 3.5 minutes on the radio. What wizardry they did for that, I don't know, but at the same time too, if you're Metallica, you probably don't have to ask radio stations to spin your stuff, and
they probably don't care. They're just like,
Oh yeah, at this point, like honestly, they could quit right now and they're fine. But
I'd seen where Kirk Hammett, and this and I quote, this is what he said: "We have not, or Metallica has not peaked yet." And I'm going,
I saw that exact same article this morning,
and I'm like, Kirk, what? Let's talk about this, bro. Kirk, okay, Kirk, come on my show. Come on, BODS Mayhem Hour Podcast. Let's talk about this. Tell me why.
Honestly, though, that I would love to see that Metallica hasn't peaked yet.
Really?
I would love for this next record to be the best thing they've ever put out.
Okay.
I would love for it. Just because a band's old doesn't mean they can't still be badass. Like, are you gonna try and tell me the Rolling Stones are still not badass? They're the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
But, so like if they, and it gives, I think it should give everybody hope. If a band in their 50s, nearing 60s, can make some of the most badass rock and metal music still, heck yeah, man. Yeah. That gives me hope for the future. That means I have the potential of a 40-year career.
It makes me hope, and I love every album that they've came out with, but I would love to see them go an old school route of like Master or Ride the Lightning or even Injustice for All, Kill 'Em All, maybe. I would love to see them just go back on that, make an album like that, but throw some flavors in there, but still kick ass like they do. And they do.
Absolutely.
They do. What's impressed or excited you the most about recording the song and making the video with Thomas Crane of KillDevil Hill Films? If anything, possibly. What's exciting for you?
What impressed me about the recording of this specific song was the learning experience of producing and what radio is looking for, and the just different layers that you can add to a song. Because it was very, very eye-opening. Because like our original, our debut record, Burn, that came out in 2018, that was completely entirely self-produced. We just went into a studio and recorded it. Done. But actually getting in there with a producer and bouncing ideas off and having certain things explained to us was very eye-opening. It was very enlightening. It's educated our writing process. It's matured our writing process. And that's something I'm looking forward to, because now we have that knowledge. You guys thought Solid Ground was good? Just wait, we ain't done. as far as shooting the video, man, Thomas Crane is a wizard. I will sing his praises to the mountaintops. That man, we immediately was apparent that we were dealing with a professional when we got to the location with him. And this is by far, in my opinion, the best video we have ever done. And the experience of shooting in the Outlaw House, with it being such a landmark of history in Mobile County, the area we're from, was really special. And we were really revenant of that house. It was gorgeous in there, like Spanish architecture and all this and that. And very creepy. Very, very creepy. That was one of the things that attracted us to this house, is aesthetically what it looked like. And that's also the only reason we went with the theme and the route that we went with that video, is what this house looked like. Because it would be weird to shoot a video in that house and it was like a children's birthday party. You know what I mean? Like, it almost demanded that kind of theme in the video. And it turned out fantastic. The actors were fantastic. The female actress was my wife, and she did amazing. And I'm obligated to say that, or I will no longer be allowed to leave my house. But love you, honey. But it was an amazing experience, but it was very creepy in that house. There was a dug up grave by the side. Like, I mean, a perfectly like dug up grave with just a random Dr. Pepper can in there too. But definitely 6 hours of heebie-jeebies, but we got it done, and we are very excited about the finished product.
My big question is, did you catch anything paranormal wise, like any EVP, shadow figures, anything whatsoever? You need to ask Thomas about this, man. Come on.
Yeah, I do need to ask Thomas that. I would be interested in that as well. I didn't see anything. I don't know if he ever caught an EVP. I don't know if he was looking for it, but I do know this is, and the first time I went upstairs to the second story, something didn't feel right.
Oh yeah.
Something felt off. I was not comfortable. And something unfortunate too is about 2.5 weeks ago, that house actually burned down.
Oh geez.
And it was very upsetting. Like, the whole area was very upset about it. And like, the local news reached out to us because of, as far as they know and we know, we have the last known footage of what the house looks like inside before the fire. And they're still doing their investigation, but there's speculations of how the fire was started. I will say, for my part, while we were there, we did notice some tools that could baby's first Breaking Bad chemistry set. Let's put it that way.
And folks, I'm telling you this right now. I got to see this video, and I got to see pictures of this haunted house. It's beautiful. I mean, I don't care the way it looks right now. It's absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
But that place, I mean, I'm sitting here when I watch it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could watch it here, and I mean, that place demanded respect. It's like, when you walk there, it's like, bam. It's like, yeah, this place is not to be messed with, because if you research the history on this place, there's a lot of stuff with this location.
Yeah, we were very reverent of it. I didn't touch a damn thing, because hell no, you ain't coming back with me. And another funny story about the video, and I nearly killed myself for like all of maybe 5 seconds of screen time for this video. Is every time you see smoke around my wife in that video, and like I said, it's all of like maybe 5 seconds, I'm just off camera with a vape mod, just blowing like crazy, like just to make the smoke effect. So every time you see smoke, I'm literally just off camera, and we did multiple shots of that. My lungs hurt for 3 days. Oh, geez. Goodness. For like 5 seconds of screen time. Look, hey, filmmaking ain't easy, but it's not. You might have to kill yourself for 5 seconds of smoke.
The pain you got to go through to get that shot, folks, and even those money shots.
No kidding. I was like, I saw that video. I was like, man, I literally almost killed myself for all of 5 seconds of that video.
Oh my God. It does look wicked though, because she's like twirling around like a ballerina and stuff like that. But when that smoke's moving around, it's absolutely cool. And it gives it like that hazy, like, don't come in here because there's something here. Do not mess with this. That's cool looking. So who did the artwork for the single?
So the man's name is Joshua Bramlett. He is the creator of Quiet Strength Designs, and he is a wizard. He also previously designed our current band logo, and we were so happy with his work with that, we decided to go back to him for the album artwork. And what he created off of just our description of the song and listening to the song, his visual mind and what he created was amazing. It far exceeded our expectations, and he's fantastic, and he does great work.
Do you see the band still musically growing from the formation of it and pushing, like you said earlier, outside that box to add different stuff that maybe, you guys might have never thought of adding before, possibly?
I'll tell you what, if Metallica hasn't peaked yet, Love to Hate damn sure hasn't. Like we're continuously growing and getting better at our craft. I started off as a guitar player. I was a guitar player in thrash metal bands for 14 years before I ever picked up a bass. So I'm still growing and learning with my new instrument. I've only been playing bass about 6 years now. So I'm still growing and learning my instrument and learning how to be a proper bass player instead of a guitar player just playing bass. And we're all getting better. We're all evolving. I can already tell with what we're writing, we've matured from Solid Ground to now, because Solid Ground, even though it just released, Solid Ground was almost a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So our writing now, even from Solid Ground to where we're at now, has matured. We're constantly getting better. We've had some lineup changes, and when we bring in new members, they have new concepts, they have new skills and ideas that add to the puzzle piece, and it can change our sound a little bit, but it, like I said, it still all uniquely sounds like us. But we're constantly growing and evolving, and I don't see why we would stop.
I want to go back here for just a few moments and ask this question, because working with a producer for the first time, did he get everything out of you guys? Did he push your buttons to where you're like, good God, is this ever going to end? Or what's he doing? He
did push us. He definitely pushed us. It was more on the vocal side. He really pushed Doc. And Doc definitely answered the call. But it was more from a marketing side, he came to us, because like one of the things he said was like, okay, what is the purpose of this song? Is this for radio? Is this for a wide audience in radio? Or is it just for the rock fans? Or is this just a single EP? And we had never thought of that. Every song we record, we intend it to be heard and to, be a single, but we had never sat and thought from that perspective of who is this song for? We had never asked ourselves that question. And that was really eye-opening. But as far as skill-wise go, yeah, he pushed us a little bit. Not to the point we wanted to slap him or anything like that. There is one part in the song that we had to push for, because he didn't want to keep it, but we had to push. We pushed for it, and we got to keep it, which is that da 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 when the synths in the background. He didn't want it. We had to unified front go, no, that's staying in the song. And that's my favorite part of the song now.
That's crazy.
So we kind of lucked out on that. But that's part of the dynamic. That push and pull can create something amazing. Him trying to pull that part away and all of us pushing towards keeping it, that's what helped create that. Because if we had just listened and gone, okay, that part would have been replaced by something completely different. And it depends, that it could have been a better part or it could have not been,
So what do you hope everyone takes away, or a message you hope they hear while listening to this new single, or just any of Love the Hate's music in general, Leon? What do you hope they get from it?
I don't think we go into writing a song with trying to send a message. You know, when we write the lyrics, it's basically just what we're feeling in that moment. When we put pen to paper, and then Doc puts his voice to the music. So I don't think we've ever sat down and written a song with the purpose of, here's our message. You know, not like Rage Against the Machine where it's meant to be political.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's just what we're feeling in that moment. What I want people to get out of our music. And I can't speak for everybody in the band, but I do know everybody in the band would agree with this sentiment, is music has literally saved my life. If it wasn't for music, I would not be here. I'm a very depressed and broken person, and I deal with those demons every day. Music is basically my sword and shield against that. And if Love the Hate's music can help somebody get through their day and have the strength to wake up in the morning and keep moving, that would mean more to me than anything else, that we have been able to help somebody continue on. That's now I get emotional thinking about it, but that's really all I want. You know, I just, you know, if we end up getting rich and famous, great. I don't care. I want my music to, and I know everybody else in the band feels the same way. We want Love the Hate's music to help people and make them feel good and be able to get up in the morning. And if I can have one person, if our music can do that for at least one person, job done.
It's amazing how music can, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but people who think they're outcasts, or people who think they're not good enough, or they don't fit in. It's amazing how music is a gateway that says, hey, come on in. We accept you. We don't care what you look like. We don't care what color race you are. We love you just the way you are. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be music have to do that. That should be an everyday freaking life with people.
Exactly. That's the thing, man. Shows are a big unifier, and I wish it could be taken outside of shows, and it should be. Because when you're at a show and you're enjoying a band, it doesn't matter what color you are, sexual orientation, religious views, identity. It does not matter if you're side by side with me and we're just in that moment enjoying a show, and nothing else matters in that moment. That's all you're thinking about in that moment. You're not thinking about anything else. And that's, again, with our music helping people, if we can help people forget about their worries and troubles for an hour or two, again, job done.
Folks, it could be your voice in your darkest days. And trust me, Leon's not alone, because I've been there. I have been there and been down the road to where I'm thankful that I'm here today. Very, very thankful because of this band right here. That band. So
Metallica was one of the ones that started it for me too.
So yeah. So see, I've said this, folks. I do this podcast to help people. If they like one band or whatever I'm doing, if I reach one person like Leon and Love the Hate, we've done our job. This is what I do this for. It's not for you know, ooh, look what he did today. I don't care. You know, I love doing this, and I want to help people just like you guys. So, like I've always said, man, it comes back full circle. Always full circle. Looks like I'm doing a spin-a-rooney.
I used to be able to do that too.
I can't do it. I'd get in the floor. I'd be like a turtle. I can't get up. Oh, he's on his back. Oh, Lord, tickle him. So what made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you, Leon, that said, I want to do that, not just get chicks and stuff like that, like normally, but you know, what do you want to do that for?
Man, it was mainly just because, like, I've only had two constants in my entire life, and that's been martial arts and music. And I was introduced to both at around the same time. When I was about 4 or 5, I started martial arts. And about that same time too, like I had heard music but it had just been in the background, and like my brain hadn't fully developed, or was still developing at that time, obviously. But my mom introduced me to Michael Jackson and the album Thriller. And on that album, track 5, I believe, happened to be the song Beat It, that had a little known guitarist named Eddie Van Halen on it. And that was what first attracted me to, that was the first time instead of just hearing music, I started to listen and try to understand music. And I was paying attention to the chord structures and why the percussion works so well with the bass and the rhythm here, and also just that guitar solo. And that was what attracted me to that tone and style of music, was Eddie Van Halen's guitars, despite Michael Jackson's vocals being on it. Even though I will fully admit there is a copy of Michael Jackson's greatest hits in my CD case.
Oh, I got one. I got it too.
Whatever. It's so good. So good.
Yep.
I like it. But, and then I fast forward a few years, and I was in a concert band at my school, and then I ended up joining the drum line in high school, and I started getting into bands like Metallica, and I was always thirsty for knowledge about the artists I was listening to. So I do a deep dive into Metallica, and I discovered, there used to be this guy named Dave Mustaine in Metallica. Oh, he's got a band named Megadeth. Let me check them out. Oh, there's this thing called the Big Four. Oh, let me check these 2 other bands out. And then the whole Bay Area thrash, like I started listening to Testament, Exodus, Armored Saint, and it turned into, like, I started listening to grunge, so obviously Soundgarden, Nirvana, and then I got into Trivium, Children of Bodom, In Flames, Armand Amarth, and I just spider-webbed into, so I literally like all the way from Michael Jackson to Gorgoroth. Like that far, that big of a spectrum, right? Like that's pretty much where I'm at. And I got a little band together when I was about 15 while I was in high school. It was a thrash metal band, and my mom and dad bought me my first guitar and a little Marshall amp, and just started playing music and just really enjoyed it. I never thought to do it as a career though, because like I was just doing it just for fun. I quit playing music when I went off to college, and every now and then, I'd play in like a little cover band set here or there while I was in college. And then, as I said, the other constant in my life was martial arts. And I actually dropped out of college to pursue a career in mixed martial arts. I've studied 6 different styles of martial arts and had moderate success cage fighting. I did get to the professional level. Nothing big. We're not talking UFC, Bellator, 1FC, just small promotions. But I would break my body in half and not really listen to it because I was a stupid monkey, and kind of am a stupid monkey still. And that's why I play bass. But
boom.
When me and my wife moved back to Mobile, it wasn't until I joined Love the Hate that I saw the potential of, hey, this really could turn into something. This really could be a career.
Mm.
And so I will say, like, Love the Hate was when only 6 years ago did I start to think that I could turn this into a career. I still regularly practice martial arts. I teach, I do private lessons and stuff too. But Love the Hate was the first time I thought of music as a career instead of just a hobby, because I saw the potential and I saw what I was actually looking for in a band to try and make that run.
And for the folks that don't know this, a lot of people don't know that Eddie Van Halen played that guitar solo on Beat It. So that's a little
right. So good. So good.
It is. And I was little, man, I used to not like, Michael Jackson's music. When I was little, I didn't like a whole lot of music. I'll just be straight up with you. And now it's like it's like my ears have opened up to all this flavor of music, and it's like I can't get enough. I eat, breathe, sleep music. I can listen to it all night long, 24/7. You know,
I go everywhere. I mean, like, depending on my mood, I can listen to classical. I can listen to old school hip hop and funk, like, you know, Parliament Funkadelic and, you know, the Fabulous Five. And I don't really have a taste for any of the more modern, you know, mumble rappy stuff, but like I'm all over the place. Like I said, I can go all the way from Beethoven to Gorgoroth and Emperor and Immortal. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day.
And I like listening to an old 70s band called Free. I think, yeah, they're called Free.
Yeah, Free.
God, they're so good. And without them, no Leonard Skinner. None.
Right.
None. I mean, high school killed me on Leonard Skinner because that's all they talked about. It's like that. It's like they never heard of anybody else. It's all Leonard Skinner. And I just was like, oh, Leonard Skinner, I can't stand it.
Dude, I grew up in Alabama. Can you guess what my least favorite song is?
Oh, Sweet Home Alabama.
I hate that song. Hate that song. Hate that song. I'm a bad Southerner. I know.
No.
Hate it.
That's gonna be
Hate it.
That's gonna be the intro of this podcast when I do this.
Hate it. Hate it. I grew up in Muscle Shoals. The name of my freaking town is in that song.
Oh, I'm gonna clip it every time, like the part of Sweet Home Alabama. I'm gonna call it Sweet Home Alabama from now on. But I'm gonna insert that in here somewhere.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And it's I literally would drive by Fame Music Studios in Muscle Shoals every other day, and the one in Sheffield where the Swampers are, or where the Swampers moved to. But oh my God, like literally every day I'd hear that song 80 bazillion times. Everybody in their yee jacked up trucks with the gun rack just blasting it, and it's just,
Oh, I struck a nerve.
John, I don't belong here, but I don't belong here, but
oh my God, I struck a nerve. I want to send you a Leonard Skinner shirt says, I love Alabama. It's my favorite song.
Please, God, no. Please, no.
And we're moving on.
I will send you a video of me setting it on fire.
I've heard you like poop on their like old recording studio or something that they had that little shack. But I mean, I'm not knocking Skinner. I like them. You know, they
honestly, if it wasn't for me being beaten to death over the head with them because of where I grew up, I actually enjoy Freebird. You know, I enjoy Freebird. It's a great solo. It's just, if I could go the rest of my life without hearing Sweet Home Alabama again, it would be too soon.
But just change it up, man. Do like Sweet Home Kentucky.
I'm actually going to Kentucky tomorrow, so
that's where I'm from, sir.
Oh, cool. Yep, we're going to Cave City to start work.
Cave City. I'm from Kentucky. Don't know where it's at. Anyway, do you still have a go-to album or song that you have to go back to and listen to like ever so often, or you find going back even more that gives you inspiration? Or just as, my God, I can't let this go.
It would have to be, just because it was the most prominent record of my formative years, would be Ascendancy by Trivium. That whole album from start to finish. As I love almost everything in Trivium's entire discography. You probably might know where the almost comes from, but that record, Ascendancy, like I said, it came out the same year I started seriously playing guitar, and I was mesmerized by that album, and I constantly go back to it. And another one I constantly go back to that is like completely almost a departure from that is, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, is Visiu by Thrice. That also came out around that time. And I go back to that record a lot too, kind of like if I just like, I'm stressed out and I'm anxious or whatever, that's kind of like, oddly enough, that's my vibe. Like just kind of just relax and calm down. But I go back to those two all the time. And currently I can't stop listening to Nija by a band called Orbit Culture out of Sweden. I'm constantly, 9 times out of 10, when I get in my car and I'm like, man, I don't know what to listen to. I just looked at my like recently played and I'm like, there's Nija. I'm just like, all right, cool. And then I'm good. So Orbit Culture by Nija is my current obsession. But yeah, I go back to Ascendancy by Trivium and Viciu by Thrice all the time.
You know who else likes Sweet Home Alabama? Nija. And Trivium. Leon, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy this new single, Solid Ground, merchandise when you have it, tour dates, all this good stuff? When it happens, how can they do that, sir?
I'm kind of scared to give it away. They may send me Sweet Home Alabama memorabilia.
Sweet Home Alabama.
But we're most active on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook. We also have a Love the Hate fan group on Facebook that is well over 1,000 strong already, and we didn't launch it that long ago. And every member of the band is in that group, so we can interact with you personally. And that's been a fun group. We're also on Twitter at Love the Hate 2. We're on Instagram at Love the Hate _official. Our drummer Troy has a TikTok, so go find him and bother him on that. Eventually we'll make a Love the Hate official one, but as of now, Troy is our official Love the Hate TikTok. And we have a website at www.lovethehatemusic.com.
And before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
No, absolutely not. I'm so kidding. Sure. What's up, guys? This is Leon from Love the Hate, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour Podcast. Please get out, check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link and our YouTube link, and you definitely, please, folks, just subscribe to the YouTube link because we got a lot of great stuff coming up, a lot of giveaways, especially tickets to Alice Cooper and Ace Frehley show here at the Appalachian Wireless Arena in Pikeville, Kentucky for October 5th. And these are 2 iconic rockers, folks. I mean, come on. I'm giving you free tickets. All you got to do is just follow the page and everything's there. Also, please get out and check out Love the Hate. Check out their new single, Solid Ground. Watch the video and give these guys a fair shot. And you won't be disappointed. So, Leon, my friend, thank you so much for doing the interview, and Sweet Home Alabama.
God dang it, man.
Honestly, dude, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me, John. This has been fun. I've loved every second of this, other than the Sweet Home Alabama thing. But this has been so much fun. Thank you.
Not a problem, sir.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.